episode of FWA TV, we will see the television debut of US strong style sensation Chris Hero when he faces off against the returning Zebra Kid, a man who's been out of the FWA since Vendetta 2004. Do not go anywhere, keep it right here on FWA TV.
Right guys, listen, I've done Mark a big favour tonight. I've researched his opponent, Jerry Lynn. I wrestled him back in probably about 79, and I'm going to warn you all about his finishing manoeuvres, and I want you to pass this information on to Mark, okay? So, note this down, Sarah, note this down, okay? The cradle pile driver, that's his finishing move, very dangerous move, okay? The stone cold stunner, another one of his moves, okay? The rock bottom, another very, very dangerous move. And he does some other move, but I don't know the name of it, but it's like a twisty thing. So just write that down, the twisty thing. Okay? Hey, Mark.
Hey.
Mark, listen, I'm doing you a favour. I've been talking to your entourage here, and I've been giving some advice on your opponent tonight, Jerry Lynn.
Jerry Lynn?
Yeah.
From ECW?
Jerry Lynn from ECW, yeah. I wrestled him maybe 15 years ago.
Stevie Lynn.
Stevie Lynn. Oh.
That's right folks, as I said at the top of the show, on tonight's episode of FWA TV, we are going to see those special highlights of the match between Chris Hero and the returning Zebra Kid from FWA's New Frontiers. Now going into this match, there has to be two huge questions that need to be answered. How will the Zebra Kid fare in such a high profile return match? I mean, let's face it, the Zebra Kid hasn't been in an FWA ring for the best part of a year. Also, how will his estranged father come into play? I mean, we all know Ricky Knight had requested that seat at ringside. Now, as I've spoken about right here on FWA TV before, the war between father and son is quite integral. Let's take a look at this situation. It was back at Carpe Diem 2004. The Zebra Kid was in a match against Doug the Anarchist Williams for the FWA British Heavyweight Championship when his own father did the unthinkable and cost Zebra the most coveted prize in all of British wrestling.
Looking at a new champion hit tonight. Sia Beeve now trying to signal to the referee that Doug Williams shoulder. Wait, Nick! Oh, Ricky Knight just pushed Zebra Kid up to the top rope.
Far by his own second. Ricky Knight just right there. Everything was going the Zebra Kid's way. A nice power slam variation. Tight pinfall.
And he gets it. Doug Williams wins the match, still retains wrestling, and we'd be looking at a new champion.
Zebra Kid's own guiding force in wrestling, Ricky Knight, has just cost him the biggest prize in British wrestling today.
Ricky Knight now leaving ringside.
This set the stage for one of the most highly anticipated grudge matches in UK wrestling history, when we would see father taking on son. It was back at Vendetta 2004 in front of a standing room only crowd at the Broxbourne Civic Hall that we would witness one of the most bloody battles in FWA history.
Since I cost Zebra Kid the FWA title, my phone hasn't stopped ringing. All my family, all the fans, ringing. Ring. Ricky, why did you cost your son the big shot? Well, let me tell you something. Rowdy Ricky Knight, I brought Zebra Kid into the world. I trained Zebra Kid. I took him down the gym. I made him the wrestler he is today. And then who rung up Talk Radio? Who rung up Alex Shane and said, Alex, I've got the best cruiserweight in the country. Alex, you must try this boy. Alex gives the man a shot at FWA. And what happens? Zebra Kid comes to FWA. He gets himself cozy. He starts winning matches. He becomes the main contender for the biggest title in Great Britain today, the FWA title, and he gets his shot. But let me tell you now, there's no way Zebra Kid will ever take the FWA title. Why? I'll tell you why. Zebra Kid is a WAW man. Zebra Kid is my main event man. And if he goes on and wins the FWA title, that's going to open up a lot of avenues for Zebra Kid. He's going to be a Ring of Honor. All the American independent companies. And what's going to happen to me at WAW? No Zebra Kid, no headliner. So there's no way he's going to become FWA champion. No way will Ricky Knight allow that. And I'll tell you something now, Zebra Kid, you're staying at WAW and FWA. I'm going to wreak havoc all the way through FWA to make sure that the Zebra Kid never becomes champion. And in the end, Zebra will come home to Daddy and WAW.
Let's go back now to the conclusion of that match, where many feel there was no clear-cut winner. At the end of the day, when the final bell had rung in a match that had intended to end the animosity between father and son, it only served to increase it.
Zebra Kid has ever come into contact with.
That was the manoeuvre that got him the All-England Championship in the first place. And Ricky Knight, obviously tough and grisly like a wild
Nick, we see the younger brother Zach and we see the son jump in the ring. That he doesn't want to see this between his own family members. And Nick, quite frankly, I can't blame him.
the poor kid must be absolutely torn. You know, his bigger brother and his dad are just bullying each other.
I think he's trying to reason with both of them, saying, you know, it's gone too far. We don't need this in the family.
I mean, he's obviously praying for some sort of Knight family
Oh no, there you go.
Let him know where he stands in all of this. And the kid got swatted.
Zebra Kid, Ricky Knight manoeuvred his own son there. Ricky Knight, no, it low blow. One,
pinfall.
Nick, I don't believe it.
Well, you know, I am a condoner of dirty, cheap tactics. But the fact of the matter is, we just saw young Zach get blasted with the super kick from the Zebra Kid, and we know how hard he can nail that bad boy.
Inadvertently, Zebra Kid took out his younger brother by no means on purpose, and Ricky Knight goes in with a low blow.
Shortly before British Uprising 3, FWA matchmakers decided to give the Zebra Kid and Ricky Knight a cooling off period before their no disqualification match, which would take place at the Coventry Skydome when FWA presented British Uprising 3. Bizarrely though, just before Uprising 3, the Zebra Kid was arrested for drink driving and then incarcerated for a 6-month period, taking him from the FWA active roster. In a strange turn of events though, it was his own father, Ricky Knight, that petitioned the FWA, and in doing so got the FWA fans to petition the FWA Board of Directors. There was emails, there was letters, there was phone calls, there was faxes. Ricky Knight basically wanted to ensure that his son was given a fair crack when he returned to the FWA. As soon as Ricky Knight heard that US Strong Style Sensation was making his debut at FWA's New Frontiers, Ricky Knight asked then acting managing director Elazar Cabrera just one thing. He asked that the Zebra Kid on his return to the FWA be given the first crack at Chris Hero.
That said, the Zebra Kid has been away from the business for a number of months, and it'll be interesting to see what his condition will be like, what his conditioning will be like on his return here at Rock's One tonight.
Well, this match starting nicely technical here. Chris Hero taking down the Zebra Kid.
Early going to this contest and the guys are pretty even.
Well, we've done the technical wrestling. I think we want to try and make it a bit more tense. Chris Hero with a drop kick and an arm drag, beautifully executed.
These guys are stepping it up a notch. They've had a bit of a feeling out process. They're getting used to how the other guys work. Now Chris Hero on top with a very nice hold there.
Chris Hero whips him out. Zebra Kid, reversal. Hero sent in from corner to corner, but wait, backdropped over the top on the Zebra Kid with a trademark dirty tactic.
Zebra Kid lands on the apron. Hero goes down. Zebra ducks, catches him with a headbutt to the gut, slips underneath the legs, whips him off the ropes, and catches him with a drop kick of his own.
Well done to the Zebra Kid, and a beautifully executed arm drag. And now it's the Zebra Kid who is on top of this game.
Another harsh blow there to the lower back and kidney area. Zebra starts to fight back.
Trademark Zebra Kid, he gets a little bit angry, the adrenaline flows, and he has a second wind. And now Chris Hero, Zebra Kid, oh, they are just trading these chops in the corner.
Trading chops in the corner, snapmare takedown from the Zebra Kid, goes for the knee drop and hits it flush in the face of Chris Hero.
Absolutely painful looking.
Zebra now stumbling back to his feet.
Oh, you do not want to trade blows with the Zebra Kid. I've seen this man go toe-to-toe with Samoa Joe, one of the hardest hitters in the world today. And now it's Chris Hero. He's having a good go, but the Zebra Kid is having none of it.
Chris Hero not faring too badly, but the Zebra Kid, oh, his blow's not having any effect.
Zebra Kid is angry. Zebra Kid wants to know who this guy is who's come into his ring. Kick to the midsection. Chris Hero now going back to that old school S offense. A standing flipping senton that time. Pinfall attempt. Zebra kicks out. They're our best fans after all. Chris Hero now. Scoop slam on the outside on the unforgiving floor. Oh, Chris Hero. Another running star senton. Absolutely devastating. Zebra Kid would have been sandwiched against the hard floor, and Chris Hero's fast-moving body, like a speeding bullet it was.
Well, exactly, faster than a speeding bullet. Chris Hero, he's a tall man, but very athletic for his size, takes a scoop slam onto the ring floor himself.
Gotta believe, though, the history in CZW that he will have good experience of a rough and tumbly existence. And oh, wait a minute.
Hang on a second. Zebra Kid now making his way with a chair.
We have seen this before. He could be setting up for this move where he drops his opponent over the chair like he's doing now, running off the apron with the point of the elbow. No, a leg drop this time.
Guillotine leg drop off a chair, and that sent Chris Hero scarpering off.
Oh, and now we're going to see it. He's climbing up top. No doubt he'll want to hit the elbow.
Hero already making his way up to his feet.
Hero's
turns
up.
around.
Oh, and Zebra Kid missed the missile drop kick. Oh, and that was nice. That will wrench the knee. I've not seen anything quite like that.
Chris Hero bringing a refreshingly different style to the FWA, showing the British Zebra Kid how it's done.
It was almost like a DDT on the leg, and now he's setting up what looks like oh, again, just wrenching that knee. Possibly Chris Hero. Yes, there he is signaling, I'm going to break his leg.
Well, this started off as a friendly rivalry, a sporting contest, if you will. But now it seems that these men have snapped, they're taking it personally, and they're looking to injure their opponents.
Oh, now that looks painful. He's got both knees of the Zebra Kid trapped. Chris Hero just fell back, wrenching the knee.
Goes to the other side of the ring, goes for a big splash.
Big forearm splash right there. He obviously wants to keep the Zebra Kid groggy just a little while longer. And Chris Hero signaling like a charging bull, but the Zebra Kid caught him.
Hero spent a little too much time with his histrionics, gave the Zebra a chance to recover.
Oh, second row DDT. Chris Hero is out on his knees. Zebra Kid now, will he be able to capitalize? I think so. Oh, he's taking a great... Oh, Zebra crossing time.
The second rope DDT turned this match around. The Zebra Kid now signaling for the Zebra crossing, making his way up to the top turnbuckle.
Get ready to slow down your vehicle, ladies and gentlemen. Zebra cross. win this.
Up next on FWA TV, we're going to see the specialist Mark Sloan going one-on-one against Northeastern high-flying sensation Stevie Lynn. The specialist has requested this match to prove that he belongs in the brand new FWA flyweight division. Sloan feels that a victory over Stevie Lynn, a former WZW Cruiserweight champion, will ensure his place in the brand new FWA flyweight division. It's then Sloan's plan to become the first ever flyweight champion and thusly become the first ever singles Triple Crown champion in FWA history. But that's not all Sloan has to worry about, because his somewhat off-the-wall tag team partner, the Shining Light Stevie Knight, also wants to be a part of the brand new FWA flyweight division. But the Shining Light, at slightly just over the weight limit, seems to have his work cut out for him. Let's head down to ringside now and join Hardcore John Atkins and Nick London.
The following match is for one fall. Please welcome first to the ring, accompanied by the entourage, the specialist, Mark Sloan!
Coming down to ringside now with his sinister spawn of evil, the entourage, is the specialist, Mark Sloan.
Here he comes, flanked as ever, as you said, by his entourage, made up of his own students from the FWA Academy, which Mark Sloan owns and runs. The specialist himself, Mark Sloan, preparing for his matchup against a man making his FWA main show debut, his debut here in the FWA, Stevie Lynn.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, keep your eye on Mark Sloan. This is a guy, I mean, how great must it be to run the FWA Academy?
From Middlesbrough, and making his FWA debut, Stevie Lynn!
Stevie Lynn making his way out to ringside now. He's got what he thinks going through his mind as he stands behind the curtains, waiting to make his debut.
Well, who cares what's going through his mind? He's merely fodder for the specialist. The specialist is going to bring all those inventive maneuvers that he's debuted over the year, including the scary-looking Tomorrow Driver, that brainbuster onto his knee. And Stevie Lynn, I guarantee, is going to fall victim tonight to the specialist.
Oh, come on, Nick London, I'm not going to sell Stevie Lynn short. He hasn't just walked into the FWA with no background. He's been training for a couple of years now. He's an experienced guy, and he's going to be ready for this contest, I guarantee it.
Think of this more as a exhibition contest to the specialist. I mean, really, Mark Sloan, former All-England champion, came within a whisker of winning the FWA Tag Team titles recently, and now he's taking on Stevie Lynn, no doubt wanting to rack up a few more victories. But if there's one thing that Mark Sloan's used to, and that's picking apart the rookies.
Well, it's a good point, Nick London, but frankly, Stevie Lynn looks very focused to me, and indeed reverses Sloan's wrist lock into a nice wrist lock of his own.
Into the ropes, Mark Sloan with a trademark sneaky maneuver right there. Using the ropes, and there's the roll-up. Stevie Lynn with a kick out. That was a long 2 count. Mark Sloan with very good technique there.
Well, Mark Sloan, indeed, good technique, absolutely, but he looks a little bit too pleased with himself, and it hasn't fazed Stevie Lynn one jot.
Now, this is the man, ladies and gentlemen, who helped train James Ty and eased him into the FWA. And much like what he did with Ty, Mark Sloan has recently been employed by Stevie Knight to help him try and improve his win-loss record in the FWA. Knight at the moment currently backstage. It's just Mark Sloan doesn't feel he needs Knight at ringside.
Well, they failed to win the tag belts at British Uprising 3, and since then I'm not sure if the relationship between the two has been the same. Nonetheless, I'm sure they are on the same page. Stevie Lynn now being backed into the corner.
And Mark Sloan, being the sportsman that he is, backed away. Very good of him.
Yeah, clean break there. Got to praise the referee, Mike Bishop. He does a great job.
Oh, a nice little Savat-esque kick there. Another trying to knot up the thigh muscle. You knot that thigh muscle up, it's very difficult to use that manoeuvrability that Lynn has been known for, I suppose. And again, Mark Sloan just working on the left leg there of Stevie Lynn.
Well, Lynn has trained hard for this match, there's no doubt about it, but training will only get you so far. You need in-ring experience, and that's something Lynn is going to pick up quickly in a contest with the specialist.
Lynn might want to make a wish right here. Mark Sloan is just separating the two legs. That'll put pressure on both of the quads. Mark Sloan using that spare leg to kick down Stevie Lynn.
Sloan knows how to use every limb, every body part to his advantage.
Absolutely, I mean that's why they call him the specialist. He knows what he's doing in there. How great is it, must it be, to run the FWA Academy? Because you have all those eager young students, and Mark Sloan will just practice those inventive, sickening and dangerous manoeuvres on them till he's, you know, ready for bed.
Well, it's certainly an advantage, I'll give you that, London. Sloan now making his way up. Still working on Stevie Lynn's body parts. Gets the cover. Just a 2 count there. Lynn kicking out.
Now that was interesting. He took him down with that kind of modified hammerlock. Held onto it with the pinfall. So even when Lynn kicked out, he finds himself in a hammerlock. And a nice reversal there. Give him that. Obviously Lynn knows what he's doing in that ring for someone so young.
Yeah, Lynn knows what he's doing all right, but the specialist wants to take him to school. And I've got a feeling Mark Sloan might want to try out a few more moves on him rather than just put him away. Cover, just the 2 count though. And again, it's going to take more than that to put a guy like Stevie Lynn out.
That was nice though. I mean, he took him down with the arm drag, floated over for the pinfall attempt, kicked out. Mark Sloan kept his eye on his opponent and backed off. There we go, Mark Sloan caught the arm as Lynn tried to go in for the lock-up, force him into the corner, and now Mark Sloan putting pressure on the wrist.
Sloan certainly has been working the wrist throughout the match. He's been working many of Lynn's body parts. Lynn catches himself on the top rope, flips over, and throws Mark Sloan over his head.
Well, I'm not so sure how sporting that is, using the ropes for an illegal advantage, Atkins.
Lynn in control of this contest all of a sudden, catches Sloan with a big drop kick. Sloan knocked into the ropes. May have been playing possum, catches Lynn with a kick to the back of the head, and Lynn falls hard to the outside.
Nicely done. Mark Sloan now making, talking to the referee Mike Bishop, making sure that he's, you know, that he's all right.
Hang on,
the entourage, what are they doing?
They're laying the boots in. That's young Tyrone Johnson there, picking his 2 penneth worth. Sloan all the while distracting the referee. Didn't see the interference being run on the outside on his behalf. And now Sloan taking it to the outside, ramming the back of Lynn into the cold ring post.
This is it. Mark Sloan is now bored of the technical wrestling, now thrusts his opponent into the cold, unforgiving steel. The fans certainly getting on his case right now.
Well, you said that this is likely to be an exhibition match, Nick. I wouldn't go that far, but I think in Sloan's mind it might well be. He's showing what he can do. He's showing he can do the technical stuff. He's showing he can do the violent stuff. And he's really taking the youngster Stevie Lynn to school.
Now what's Mark Sloan doing here? A little bit of a kick there into the square of the chest bone. And Mark Sloan now, oh look at that! A neck breaker through that second rope. Look at the ring ropes just vibrating. That was a hell of a maneuver.
2 count there. Stevie Lynn manages to get his foot to the ropes. The referee spots it just in time.
Great awareness for one so young.
Great awareness from the referee as well. Mike Bishop doing a great job officiating in this bout.
Backbreaker, beautifully executed. Mark Sloan, he's not letting the same mistake being repeated. He held onto the limbs to make sure that Lynn did not reach that bottom rope.
Well, there's not much you can teach Mark Sloan about ring awareness or ring positioning. Stevie Lynn now mounting a comeback of sorts, cut off nipped in the bud by Mark Sloan.
Well, Lynn is desperate to fight back, but Mark Sloan is just cutting him off each time, and Lynn seems to be suffering at the hands of Mark Sloan.
Sloan methodical here in his destruction of the youngster Stevie Lynn.
Lynn's being picked up here by the specialist Mark Sloan, and he's sent him into the corner. This is not a place to be. Mark Sloan knows lots of techniques to use that corner for.
Lynn
now
himself.
Flipping over, back body drop, nicely executed. Mark Sloan perhaps a little dazed at the fact that Lynn was able to make a comeback there.
And now Lynn with a big clothesline catches Sloan in the corner himself. Yanks him out.
Snapmare down. Lynn now. Oh, that will really have a whiplash-esque effect on your back. Standing moonsault. Obviously, Lynn's bringing more to the ring than either of us expected.
Absolutely, some incredible offense there, seemingly out of nowhere from Stevie Lynn. And now Sloan backing off to his own corner, wondering where it all went wrong.
Well, Lynn himself was looking quite groggy there himself, and that has allowed Mark Sloan to get a back body drop over the top rope, but Lynn now, it's Tyrone again. The referee didn't see it, and it allowed Mark Sloan hit that springboard off the second rope into the kick.
Yeah, and Stevie Lynn landed hard on the cold floor outside.
It was just out of the peripheral vision of referee.
No doubt about it there. Stevie Lynn, he managed to mount a comeback of sorts, but he's just taken too much punishment. Didn't have a huge effect on Mark Sloan, and Sloan once again in the dominant position in this matchup.
Well, he's standing alone in the ring, and that is a dominant position to be in. But he's going to bring in Lynn into the ring because he's confident in his mind that he can pin Stevie Lynn. Rolls him onto his front, brings him to his feet. Body slam executed by the specialist.
Big slam there, Stevie Lynn. Sloan now climbing to the middle turnbuckle, comes off and stomps him from the middle turnbuckle. The full weight of the specialist landing on the upper back there of Stevie Lynn.
Absolutely, and that's Mark Sloan's tactics. He's made a bullseye for himself, and he is going for it. He didn't just go for any high-risk maneuver. That was methodically fought out.
Well, exactly. Lynn's a big guy, but I don't care who you are. If you have the full weight of a human being landing.
Oh, there's the Tomorrow Driver dropping the back of the head onto the knee of Mark Sloan, and that must be it.
Well, hang on a second, here comes Stevie Knight. Mark Sloan has probably got the match won, but Stevie Knight, what's he doing?
What is Stevie Knight doing?
Stevie Knight making his way to the top turnbuckle. It's unfamiliar territory for the Shining Light. Sloan
I think Knight wants to prove himself. Oh, wait a minute. Stevie Lynn has just risen from his death almost.
Knight landing hard on the outside. Lynn there with a big maneuver, knocking Sloan out cold.
Lynn is measuring up for something. What could he be going for?
Oh yeah, Lynn now. He's turned the tide of this match around. The interference from Stevie Knight backfired. Lynn on the top turnbuckle, steadies himself, and the shooting star press!
Oh my lord! He connected hard! No way!
Two,
kick out,
three!
Sloan.
It's all over! It's all over! A huge win here with a big shooting star press, and Stevie Lynn winning with his FWA debut.
How upset will Mark Sloan be when he recovers? Stevie Knight attempting to impress his new mentor, Mark Sloan, but it in turn costed Mark Sloan this victory against what is a mere rookie.
Well, Sloan had the match won. He hit the Tomorrow Driver on Stevie Lynn. Lynn was out cold. It was all over. Stevie Knight interjected himself into the match against the wishes of Sloan, looking to impress his mentor. The distraction was just enough to put Sloan off his game.
Look at Lynn. He is groggy still from that Tomorrow Driver, but he dug deep, and he hit that shooting star press.
Indeed, and when you hit a shooting star press, it's going to be over.
Did you see the velocity and the angle? It was an awesome shooting star press. Mark Sloan had no way of kicking out, and what an upset. Oh, and here's a disagreement between the two. Stevie Knight said he wanted to hit a moonsault. He wanted to prove himself, I think. and Mark Sloan wants nothing of it.
Stevie Knight hasn't hit a moonsault for about 10 years, I would say. Oh, well, Sloan offering the handshake. Oh, no, thinks twice.
Well, obviously Mark Sloan not happy with the turn of events here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, you've just seen a big upset. Stevie Lynn, a rookie, has just entered the FWA and on his first television matchup, pins the specialist Mark Sloan.
On next week's episode of FWA TV, we're going to have an All England Championship match when we see the South City Thriller defend his championship against the #1 contender Spud. Let's take a look now at how Spud became the #1 contender to the All England Championship.
As we hear the adulation from the crowd there, Nick, these three young competitors know what a win in this match will give them. A shot at the FWA All England title. We could be looking at a future All England champion in the ring right now.
You know, we could be looking at a future FWA heavyweight champion. But you're quite right. Whoever wins this will get the FWA All England title shot. But who will they face? Will it be Hayde Vanson? Will it be Jack Xavier? It could be anyone else for that matter. Whoever holds that title will have to contend with one of these three hungry young lions.
Aviv Mayen setting Spud back up onto the top rope. It would appear that Aviv does have something planned for Spud involving the top rope, but Ross Jordan again, quick, sets up Aviv Mayen, face plants him in the centre of the ring. We can still see Spud on the corner of our screen, still perched up on the top rope. The match has been going on for quite a while now, Nick, and all three of these men have yet to really slow down. They are absolutely giving it their all. As Ross Jordan set Aviv up and he's now made his way over to Spud, and Spud's on the top rope.
Well, Spud wants absolutely nothing to do with being reverse suplexed off the top rope, and he is fighting for his life. And finally, Ross Jordan is down. But Aviv Mayen, I don't think we're going to be seeing any baby potatoes anytime soon. Aviv now. Oh, wait a minute.
Aviv Mayen with the Aviva Las Vegas hits it, but surely you should be capitalising.
Spud with the blood. That's a Phoenix Star splash.
2, 3, it's Spud! No, Nick, Aviv Mayen hit the Aviva Las Vegas. I don't know if it was the infection in his abdomen, I'm not sure, but
he's clutching the infection spot. Obviously, when he hit the Aviva Las Vegas, the pain just went straight through the abdominal of Aviv. He just couldn't capitalise. And Spud was in the right time, at the right place. He was on top of the turnbuckle, and there was a pro Ross Jordan who was completely defenceless for the Phoenix Star splash. I had no idea Spud had it in him, but he obviously pulled it out tonight here for commentary. And I'll tell you one thing, I never thought I'd say this, but Spud is the new #1 contender to the All England Championship.
in his second match, Nick. In his second match, Spud has come to the commentary skydome to British Uprising 3 and is now walking out the new #1 contender for the FWA All England Championship.
Well, congratulations to Spud and the other competitors. Well, Ross Jordan does not look happy that he was essentially the one who was pinned in this contest.
Well, you know, Ross Jordan just got Aviva Las Vegas, then the Phoenix Splash, but he's showing no grudges here, Nick. These three young athletes put an amazing show in this opening match of FWA's British Uprising 3.
I gotta tell you, what a show of respect. Pass me the bucket, I feel sick. But later on tonight, we're gonna see last man standing, Hayde Vanson, who's gonna defend the All England Championship, perhaps for the last time, against Jack Xavier.
Vanson must have felt he was in for an easy ride, seeing the obvious size disadvantage between himself and Spud. He also had another ace up his sleeve, knowing that he would be in the same ring at the same time as the #1 contender at FWA's Gold Rush. He would see this as a golden opportunity to soften up Spud, but nobody could have foreseen how this plan would backfire. Another man who's closely linked to the FWA All England champion Hayde Vanson is, of course, his nemesis Jack Xavier. It was while I was actually backstage at FWA's Gold Rush filming some segments that we found Jack Xavier, who'd been attacked by an unknown individual. Let's go back now and take a look at this disturbing footage. Tony Giles here backstage at the FWA's Gold Rush when we've just seen Johnny Storm be crowned the new #1 contender of the FWA heavyweight title. Oh, sorry. That's alright, don't worry about it. It's alright, man. Let's do it again.
God, anyone needs some help down there now! Anyone, help! Help! Jack! Jack!
Oh, Jack! What's up, Jack? He just went through the door. He collapsed. What's going on? What's going on? Jack, come out. Jack! Someone go get an ambulance! Hey, Jack, come on! Give him some room. Come on, Jack!
Can you get him up?
No, he's gone. Jack, come on! Jack! No, he's not. He's totally unconscious.
What happened? What happened?
Who knows? On next week's episode of FWA TV, I'll bring you an update on the condition of Jack Xavier. We'll also see that FWA All England Championship match between the South City thriller Hayde Vanson and the #1 contender Spud, right here on FWA TV.
Maybe small.
The FWA returns to live action on March the 26th at the Morecambe Dome for War on the Shore. We're going to see the FWA All England champion, the South City thriller himself, Hayde Vanson, going one-on-one against US wrestling legend Raven. We'll also see two first-round matches on the brand new FWA Flyweight division when we see the FWA's head trainer, the specialist Mark Sloan, going up against the FWA Academy's Max Voltage. We'll also see Spud taking on Jack Storm. And ladies and gentlemen, wait till you hear this. A brand new tag team attraction when we see the team of James Ty and Mark Belton going one-on-one with Aviv Mayan and the Wonder Kid Johnny Storm. All your other favourite FWA stars will also be in action. For more information, head to www.frontierwrestling.com. You can also purchase your tickets from the Morecambe Dome box office. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have for this week's episode of FWA TV. Be sure to tune in next week when we have that All England Championship match between the South City Thriller Hay Benson and the #1 contender Spud. I've been Tony Giles, and I'll see you then.